Ayo, what's up, people? What's up? Welcome to our channel. Welcome to our podcast. This is Deep Thoughts. I am your host, Sene Speaks, aka Senezelu__underscore Nkosi. Those are my social medias. Next to me,
Yeah, my name is Fundo Mazibugo. Others call me Bright Scorpio for long. You can follow me on Instagram and check out my other account, Bright Thoughts, where I just share my mind. Nice to meet you.
Hi guys, my name is Abahle Memela. You can call me Galanga Soul. You can find my Instagram Galanga Soul __ Memela. That's where I post some of my music. Yeah, you can check the type of music I produce.
Dog, honestly, I'm not that ready per se. I mean, like, nerve-wracking. I'm nervous. I'm
quite anxious, right?
Yeah, but it's our first time.
Like before we carry on, I want to shout out to our camera guy behind the scenes, Mr. Scarface, iconic. Find him go social media. His socials, iconic. Yeah. So before we start, you guys doing good though?
I've been living, bro. School has been school.
Yeah.
School is school.
It's always been like that, but we ain't complaining much.
Yeah. Okay. So let's not waste everybody's time. Let's jump in straight to our first topic. First episode, first season, first topic.
Now, on this podcast, we are dwelling on different social aspects of society, or how we think as individuals and how we perceive ourselves as people. So today we're looking at the social expectations. Everyone knows this. Everyone can relate to some degree. Like to see how
on what society expects from them.
Exactly. Especially you need to understand and ask what makes society the way it is today, and why do we have to conform to it, and why people who see the minority that break away from the societal norms, and why is it seen as a bad thing. So we're dwelling into those kind of topics for today.
Okay, can I just dive deeper into what society is? Like, just a simple definition from my Oxford Dictionary. Basically, society is people living together in an ordered community or a particular community of people. That is what society is.
Yeah, that is true. So now, since you define what a society is, we can look into the societal expectations. The societal expectations are usually like what rules, unspoken rules, or expectations that an individual, the norms that like are defined by a social group. In order to blend in, to increase what do you call it, social acceptance. What is seen as something that is normal, but which is tricky because definition of normal change as time goes.
As time goes on, like as you grow, man, you start seeing the world in a different perspective. So it depends on you as a person and your level of maturity, what is normal to you. Because as kids, we might find many things as normal because the other kids are doing it. You feel me? True. But as you grow, your mind grows too. You learn new things. So my definition of normal and a kid's definition of normal is quite different. So we actually need to dive deeper into what is normal. But actually there isn't.
Yeah, that's true.
Everybody's it.
I feel as if what they've done is they put certain rules, certain things that as a society we should be doing, and they continue expanding this, forgetting times are changing, right? Like families will have certain expectations of you, parents will have certain expectations of you. Like you know this, right? Parents will expect for you to go to school. After going to school, you go to varsity. Then when you get to varsity, you finish, then you get a job, then they retire. Exactly. They expect you to do the same things to your coming generation, to your kids, and it's messed up, to be honest, because I feel as if our parents' minds should change. You feel me?
Not only
No,
that.
no, no.
It's not only about that.
You can't change them.
You can't change
You
their
need to
mind.
change them.
Also, like, I wouldn't say social expectations is all bad per se. I mean, there's a reason why it's there, and the reason why it's so acceptable within society. You know, because it to a certain extent, of course, there are some things that are just a bit ludicrous, or something that's teen. That's very limiting to some people as the new generation. You know, so we need to understand why there are those set of rules and why they're implemented the way they're implemented. Of course, there are certain things that we need to expect, because it's a social standard to say that, okay, you must be in certain communities. Most people must be quiet at night. You know, it's sort of like a level of respect towards another. It promotes harmony. In a societal standard. Of course, there are those that are step out of the way, because, like, let's say you live in a community where there's mostly Christians in a way, and you come with a different religion. You know, that is something that is accepted. Like, they expect you as a newcomer. Okay, they assume that you're Christian until they find out that you're not, and to a level, a small level, you see that, okay, there's a tiny bit of discrimination against it. I mean, it's something that's there. So.
But like as you said, man, our parents expect us to go to school, do this certain order, man. You feel me? But during my research on like what actually is society expectations, you know, fine. This word order, you know, you feel me? Like, the definition of order is the arrangement of people or things according to a particular sequence or method. Me, as an individual, I do believe we live in a matrix. I'm sorry to bring this up. I do believe we live in a matrix, first of all. Yeah. I do believe there's an organization, people in power, that have put certain standards, certain methods, and they're here to bring order. Okay. Like, within our... like,
one of the questions, one of the questions I would raise to that order, like, what is the reason? Like, what is the overall goal? Is it for them to keep power, or do they believe that human beings can live with each other? Is it a selfless act, or there's some selfish intent behind it? Because personally, I believe that everybody's selfish.
Yeah.
We all want something in the end, whether it's validation, acceptance, money, any form of thing that you are receiving, you know. And when it comes to those societal standards that are put in place, is to keep those in power, you know. It awakens that strive for survival.
To answer your question, I do believe it's a bit of both. Because, like, if you leave something out of order, you know, it won't survive. And I think it was tested, like, scientists have tested it, that if you leave something not in order, it will die, or there will be chaos, first of all. And if there were no laws saying you can't do this, everybody will be running crazy, like back in 2020 during the looting and shit. You feel me? We didn't have order back then. But also, the people in power, they want to stay in power, because in order to control the masses, in order to control everyone, you can't control everyone if everyone is doing their own thing. Yeah. It's easy to control us if we all act a certain way. Like, we conform to the ways of society. You feel me? Like in my account, Seni Speaks, where I write about actually not my experiences. It's about breaking the matrix. You feel me? I did say, once society defines who you are, then you are expected to do or be something in a certain order. You feel me? So, in order, like, basically I'm trying to say, do not let society define you. Because I know who I am. I know who I am. Nobody can tell me otherwise. You know. So, since I know who I am, what I stand for, I'll act a certain way. But if somebody comes and tells you, and it's like, hey, yo, Abash, you are this person, and I expect you to do this, to live up to what I've perceived you as. You feel me? So basically, that is society.
Cross the boundary. You know, they cross the boundary of personal space.
Personal space, true.
Yeah, it's very hard to manage a society. It's very hard to manage a society. I can understand from a government point of view. It's not as simple because because each person is different as an individual, and now you need to. There's something called the political philosophy. The political philosophy where it governs an idea that everyone can agree on some set rules based on their morals and their ethics. Because now that changes over time, because let's say the majority of people don't believe in what the government says, so they expect it to change. That means that the social norm has changed,
True.
which is very difficult to adapt to. And yeah, it's complicated. It's very complicated.
In certain aspects, they are needed. Because if you think about it, right, what they did is the higher power made sure that, okay, they enforced the mentality of you should do this, go to school, then work for someone. It's generating money, right, to try and keep the whole thing running. If you think about it, if everyone was rich, the economy would collapse, right?
Yeah.
If you because you can't have everyone rich, because think about it, if everyone was rich, who's going to build? If everyone was rich, who's going to do the garden? Who's going to clean the streets? If everyone was rich, there are certain things that are needed. There are people who clean this, the people who do this. In all honesty, those are things that are needed. So in actual fact, some things are needed in a way, but yeah, we can't all. Yes, for society to not collapse, basically they've put in such things.
That is true. It's true. See, if you look at the advantages and disadvantages of the social norms per se, like the advantages that it established a way forward, one way or another, establish a way forward. It allows easy control or stability, to a certain extent. It avoids chaos. But now one of the disadvantages, from how I see it, is that it promotes being mediocre or being average. Yeah. They don't accept the person who's different, who's trying to be different, in a way that, and when I say different, I don't mean the person has to be a delinquent. It has to be different in a way that is also going to be beneficial to society as a whole. But it's just that, because people fear things they don't understand. They don't
Especially parents. Because take this. Since our parents, like as South Africa, my parents, I don't know about your parents, my parents are old, they're not young. They did live in the time of apartheid, first of all. And whatever they were instilled as kids, they still believe till this day. So it's not easy for them to move away from what they've known their whole life. And as I was born, I'm a 2000 baby, first of all. And I'm growing up, because I'm still growing. I'm growing up in a time where there's the internet, technology, where it's easy to find the relevant information that I need. Quick and easy. Our parents didn't have the luxury. You feel me? So with me, it's easy for me to learn about new things every day, every minute. You feel me? So it's easy for me to believe in what I want to believe. But with my parents, they didn't have references or anything. So they were given this, they were forced to live with that.
Closed off environment and scenario. Yeah, I get you.
So me coming with something different, they won't accept it, because in their minds they were instilled, these are the standards of society. You feel me? So coming, like for example, coming out of the closet, like I am homosexual, I am this, I am that, I identify, I identify as this and that, Society, most of society, the majority won't accept you as you are. because they see it as something that is not normal. We still go back to that word, normal.
I feel as if with this thing, I'll make a reference. Like, if you take like a certain animal and you put it in a very disclosed environment, where it's like it's like the only
Isolated.
it's isolated from everything, and you grow it. It's gonna live differently, or it's gonna do things differently than other animals outside. So I feel as if that's how our parents are, right? They've been put in a box of society and whatever their norms were at the time, where anything different is like, whoa, wait, you can't say that. No, that's not right. Right? It's like if you inflict certain words to a kid, it's gonna grow up learning those words. That's basically what happens with parents. But it's programming. But the difference is they don't. And I'm not saying it's wrong, right? Because due to how they grew up, that's how
It's how they are.
Due to the times, that's how they're gonna be.
Yeah.
So like we don't judge them for who they are. And also with that example, basically it's like the difference between a domestic cat and a street cat. They will behave differently. As a domestic cat is used to like the luxury of being fed, of like being warm, inside this house. But a street cat, it has to like be savage, honestly. It's programmed that way because of its environment. You feel me? That's its society. You feel me? So, although we may say the expectations of society, I wouldn't say wrong. I don't have the correct word, but basically, it does shape you, like shape you as a person, like especially the environment you came from. That's what I can say. Is that it?
More to come, but but this is
Like, there's
still more to
come,
come, but you gotta
but
keep it short,
You gotta keep it
Gotta
short.
keep it short, yeah.
Kiss.
Nah, that
Keep it
was
short
fun,
and
though.
simple.
That was fun.
It was fun though. But I don't know if you're hearing the soundtrack behind me. It's by Daisy Green. DAIZY. I'm just kidding. I'll just write it down. Link below. Check out our Spotify. Every link is gonna be in the description below. Yeah, don't know. And shout out to you, Mr. Scarface. Now, yeah, thank you. See you in the next episode. Disclaimer. Mind, we'll be dropping every Sunday. Yeah. So shout out to you.